welcome to the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment, and it is time for my Week 17 2016 NFL picks and predictions. And alas, the regular season has come to an end, but don't you worry, I will be back for my playoff predictions as well as my wildcard predictions, my divisional predictions, my conference championship predictions, and my Super Bowl predictions throughout the next month, so you will not miss me much if you stay subscribed, that is. Real quick, let's update you on the SFE, the Sports Fan Entertainment Picks Challenge, where currently we have a very interesting race for the top 3 spots. Remember, the top 3 spots will get a prize, and I still have not figured out the prizes, but by next week, in my video for my wildcard predictions, I will announce the prizes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 3 prizes. The first place winner gets to pick his prize, the second place winner gets to pick his prize, and the third place winner gets to pick his prize, just in case if there's a prize that you want more than another, and you're like, oh man, I should have finished in third because the third place prize is better than the first place prize. You just get to pick whatever you want if you finish in first. So I will see who ends up in the top 3. You will receive a prize. Stay tuned for more information next week. So last week wasn't a great week for me at all. One of the worst weeks I've had in recent weeks. I had been hot up until that point, but that was not a good point, as I was 8-8 straight up last week. Against the spread, I wasn't too bad, but I was still pretty bad, as I went 7-9 and my GUARAN-DAMN-TEES was 3-4. It was a disastrous week. It was a week in which the Browns decided to win a game, the 49ers decided to win a game, the Jaguars decided to win a game, and none of us saw any of that coming. But if you've been watching me, I've been saying it's very irresponsible to believe that all these teams are going to lose out. They're going to win. I'm just surprised that they all decided to do it last week. I mean, that's just frustrating for me, but whatever. We're going to do well this week, okay? We're going to finish strong, week 17, and what I've really done is, this is now Friday, I'm uploading this. The reason I've taken so long is I've been trying to watch a lot of these press conferences for a lot of these head coaches, trying to read the tea leaves of what they're really going to do. Are they going to play their starters? Are they not? Are they going to rest? What are they going to do? I figured it out, I believe, and I think that's going to maximize my potential this week. Let's get into the week 17 picks and predictions. Let's start with the Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets, and the Bills have fired Rex Ryan. Anthony Lynn will be the new head coach. He was the offensive coordinator, and then before that, I think he was the offensive line coach, but then they fired Greg Roman after week 2. Now they're starting EJ Manuel. They benched Tyrod Taylor. I think they're trying to preserve Tyrod Taylor from injury, just in case they want to release him or trade him in the offseason. I don't know why the Bills are so eager to get rid of Tyrod Taylor. Yeah, he's not great, but the quarterback market isn't great either. So good luck signing Jay Cutler. For now, Tyrod Taylor, EJ Manuel, I don't have much faith in EJ Manuel, but the New York Jets stink. And I do have faith in that. All right, as Bryce Petty is now on injured reserve, they're going to go back to Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's better than Bryce Petty, right? Because Bryce Petty, I'm convinced, is the worst quarterback to ever play in the NFL. There has never been a quarterback to ever play in the NFL that is more likely to throw an interception than Bryce Petty, okay? So with that in mind, since the Jets stink and they don't care anymore defensively, they're letting up 40 points every other week. Give me the Bills to go to New York and win, although it'll probably be close because I don't love EJ Manuel at all. We've seen enough of EJ Manuel at this point. We know that he's just not very good. We move on to the Chicago Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. And, I'm going to pick the Vikings here. They're at home. The Vikings, their season has turned into a disaster. You're seeing the defensive backs like Xavier Rhodes not listening to Mike Zimmer. Then they tried to clean it up afterwards during the week, saying, oh, no, it was just a miscommunication. It was only for one series, blah, blah, blah. That ain't good. But they're at home, and the Bears, they're not great. It would not shock me, though, if the Bears won this week at all. I just don't feel comfortable picking the Bears to win in Minnesota. So I'm really picking the Vikings here just because they're at home. I think that's enough, but it would not shock me in the least if the Vikings have yet another disaster on Sunday. We move on to the Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals, and The Bengals right now, their season is coming to an absolute halt. They were starting to salvage it a little bit, but after that loss to the Texans last week, I think they're going to lose again this week. They're benching A.J. Green. I think he could play. If this was a playoff game, I think he'd play. But week 17, they're benching him. Tyler Eifert won't play. There's some defensive players as well that won't play this week. The Ravens, on the other hand, I think they're motivated to play hard and to get that winning season. John Harbaugh's been talking a lot about that. So give me the Ravens to go to Cincinnati and pick up a big victory. The one thing that does concern me, though, will the Ravens really sweep the Bengals this year? It doesn't feel right, but that's what I'm going with. We move on to the Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the one head coach that has been absolutely upfront this week, Mike Tomlin, saying, "Oh yeah, we're benching Ben Roethlisberger, we're benching Le'Veon Bell, and we are benching Antonio Brown." Thank you, Mike Tomlin. That's all I want to know. I'm still going to pick the Steelers to win, but it'll be close, and it will not shock me if the Browns win again. However, don't win, Cleveland, because you're going to lose Myles Garrett, okay? Because the 49ers, they will take Myles Garrett if they have the number 1 overall pick. I'm not sure how the strength of schedule tiebreaker would work between these two in terms of draft order, but I believe if the Browns win and the 49ers lose, then the 49ers would have that first overall pick. So I think the Browns will get close, and then you're going to see some weird thing like maybe Hugh Jackson benching Robert Griffin or something stupid like that, and then the Browns lose the game. So just look out for that, but I like the Steelers to win just very barely, though. We move on to the Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. And I like the Eagles to win this game. You're talking about the Cowboys playing 3 quarterbacks today. They're going to be playing Dak Prescott, Tony Romo for a series or 2, and Mark Sanchez. I don't think they're going to come out in this game and try very hard. While this Philadelphia Eagles team, and they showcased this last Thursday night, they still have pride at home. At home, they want to defend their home field. They want to go out. They want to win the game. Carson Wentz, this is a guy that goes out every single week and plays 100%. And a lot of these defenders, same thing, like Malcolm Jenkins and some other players as well. I like the Eagles to win at home here. The Cowboys will be playing Darren McFadden a little more. Tyron Smith is out this game. I think the Eagles is definitely the pick here. We move on to the Houston Texans at the Tennessee Titans. And let me tell you something, Titans fans. I want us to lose this game. I'm not saying that we should go out there and just tank. I'm just saying, as a fan sitting at home, I want us to lose. There's no reason for us to win this game. I know a lot of you want a winning season. Honestly, guys, who cares? We had a winning season in 2011. If I told you right now, if I changed the record books and changed that 2011 record from 9-7 to 8-8, would it make any difference to you today? Would it help anything? Would it help your mental health? Would it help anything? No, it doesn't help anything. It's just nice to say we had a winning season. Who cares? Just go out there, lose the game. We are talking about a potential of 4 draft spots being changed here. If the Titans win this game, they will be picking either 17th or 18th in the draft. If the Titans lose this game, they could be picking 12th, 13th, or 14th. Those are 4 draft spots. We're talking about almost 5 even in one scenario. You got to go out and lose this game to me. Give me the Texans to win, though, just because Matt Castle, he will not find success against the Texans defense. They will be resting Jadeveon Clowney. He has an injury, so they're going to be resting him. But A.J. Bouye and Jonathan Joseph, they're going to be out there. Kareem Jackson, they're going to slow down these Titans wide receivers. And only a quarterback with the skill set of hitting these wide receivers in time with anticipation and accuracy could win this game. Matt Castle's not that. Marcus Mariota could have been that, especially if this was for the AFC South Championship. But Matt Castle, you're going to see a couple of interceptions this game, and ultimately the Texans winning this game as they want to give Tom Savage some more momentum and some more reps, giving the Texans to win in Nashville. We move on to the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Indianapolis Colts. And Titans fans, hey, nice to see you again. We want the Jaguars to win this game, right? Because if the Jaguars win and the Rams lose, our pick that we honed for the Los Angeles Rams, that pick now becomes a top 4 pick at least. So we want the Jaguars to win here. Unfortunately, though, I don't see it happening. It certainly could. If last week Doug Marrone really incited something out of this Jaguars team that's not just a one-game thing, then they certainly could. But I think Andrew Luck was really upset about their loss last week in Oakland, where he threw a couple of interceptions. He was going on and on saying, oh, I let down my team, and this and that, and oh my God, I was fighting the Civil War and whatever, look at my beard. So I think he's going to come out in this game, be very motivated, come out, play hard, and ultimately win this game. But I will be rooting for that loser, Blake Bortles. We move on to the New England Patriots as they go to Miami and face the Miami Dolphins, and I'm really surprised at how many people are picking the Patriots and how much Vegas loves the Patriots, as the Patriots are 9.5, almost 10-point favorites on the road. We're talking about a Miami Dolphins team here that is going to the playoffs, currently 10-5, but even when they weren't going to the playoffs, for the past 3 seasons, they've beaten the New England Patriots in Miami. This is something that they've been doing lately. They're beating the Patriots every single year for the past 3 years. It's in Miami again. I'm listening to Adam Gase. He's saying, hey, I'm not benching these guys. I want to keep our momentum going, keep everybody playing well. I give Matt Moore some more reps. So it's in Miami. The Dolphins have now had a history, developing a huge history of defeating the Patriots. Guys, I like the Dolphins to beat the New England Patriots in Miami this week. It's happened plenty of years before now, and the Dolphins are the best they've been for years. So give me the Dolphins to win in Miami. We move on to the Carolina Panthers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and everyone's picking the Bucs and moving on, and I'm saying, wait a minute, why? We saw this Carolina Panthers team go to Washington a couple weeks ago and beat the Redskins. Now, they're going to go up against this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. Doug Martin is now suspended with a PED problem. And I don't know why Doug Martin is this way. Every other year, he stinks, right? If you go back and look at his 2014 season, he stunk. His 2012 season was actually okay. But every other year, he stinks. And this is the year that he stinks. And now he has a PED thing. I don't know why they re-signed this guy. I told them, just leave with Charles Sims. Charles Sims is good enough. And then maybe get another back, but Doug Martin is too inconsistent, and they're seeing that now. Anyway, so Doug Martin is out. Cameron Brate, this Buccaneers tight end that has been so successful, has been so good for them this season, has been the number 2 weapon for Jameis Winston this season. He's on IR. The Bucs don't have anything other than Mike Evans, and Mike Evans is a lot, okay? That boy can do something. But the Carolina Panthers just going out there covering one wide receiver, which they did have trouble with Julio Jones a couple weeks ago, but just going out there covering one wide receiver in winning like they did in Washington. Oh, I can see that happening. Give me the Carolina Panthers to go to Tampa Bay and get a victory here. It's going to be nice weather. And Carolina, I think they're just better right now. The Bucs, ever since they faced the Cowboys, they quenched their fire. They quenched their whatever hot streak they were on. I think this Panthers team has been playing better the last 4 weeks. And I think they're going to go out there and beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week. No one's talking about this. We move on to the New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons, and the Falcons are fighting for a bye week. This is something that I did not even think was possible before the season. If you would have told me before the season that the Dallas freaking Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons would be the number 1 and the number 2 seeds in the NFC, I would have told you you're on mushrooms. And yet this is the world in which we are living. What a world in which we are living. Okay, so they're motivated. They're going to come out and they're going to win this game. But the Saints, they're very motivated as well. So they're going to compete. They're going to be close. It's going to be high scoring. But the way this Falcons team is scoring right now, and this Saints defense not being great, I like the Falcons to continue their offensive success and win this game. We move on to the Oakland Raiders at the Denver Broncos. And again, I have a unique perspective here. Guys, I think the Raiders are going to win this game. The Broncos have now lost like 3 or 4 games in a row. They can't score anything. They scored 10 points against the Tennessee Titans. They scored 3 points against the New England Patriots. And last week against against the Kansas City Chiefs, they scored 10. They can't score anything. If you've been listening to them, if you've been reading the tea leaves, they're so depressed. I mean, they're just like, oh my God, the season's over. Oh, Akita Lee, blah, blah, blah. and now we're going to play Paxton Lynch, and we're going to rotate Paxton Lynch and Trevor Siemian in this game, and we don't know what we're going to do. If you've been looking at Broncos fans, they're so depressed. They've been saying this and that. I think the whole morale of this team is down. Now, you do look at the Oakland Raiders, and they did sustain a huge injury to their franchise quarterback, Derek Carr. But they have a lot to fight for in this game, and I think they're going to come out motivated to win this game because they know all we have to do is just win. We have a bye week. We can figure the stuff out over the bye week, and then we're okay to go. This Raiders team, they still have a lot more to fight for than this Broncos team. I don't like the team morale of the Broncos at all right now. And Matt McGloin, he was not good at all back in 2013. But that was back in 2013. I can believe that he can be good enough now to throw the football up to Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree and ultimately win this game. So give me the Oakland Raiders to go to Denver and get a huge victory in Denver as they defeat the Denver Broncos here. We move on to the Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos. And we move on to the Kansas City Chiefs at the San Diego Chargers. And look, this is a pretty easy game. The Chargers are done. They want Mike McCoy fired. The whole season has came to an absolute halt. You look at the injury to Melvin Gordon, what a huge injury it's proven to be. They don't have a backup running back worth a damn, and it's completely stopped their offense from doing anything. Also, the fact that obviously they've had so many wide receiver injuries. Travis Benjamin isn't the same. Dontrell Inman is just okay. And Tyrell Williams, although he's probably going to end up with over 1,000 yards, he can drop a pass or 2 or 3 or 4 a game. So this Chargers team is done. While this Kansas City Chiefs team, they believe they can get the bye week now. They're going to come out motivated to win this game. Although now, I don't think that they will. I really think the Raiders are going to win. So give me the Chiefs to win this game, but I still think they're going to be the wild card at the end of this evening. We move on to the Arizona Cardinals at the Los Angeles Rams. And the LA Rams have been a disaster lately, to say the least. Jared Goff, someone came up with a great nickname. Whoever commented this, I'm taking this. Jared Goffle, because he's so awful at quarterback, okay? And he can get rid of that nickname if he plays better in the future. But for 2016, yeah, that's your nickname, bud. You stink, okay? So I like the Arizona Cardinals to win here. I couldn't believe that they went to Seattle and won last week, and that does perturb me a little bit. So perhaps they'll come out in this game, and they'll just play like, okay, well, we won last week. Let's just, do whatever. This is a second consecutive road game, divisional game. That concerns me, but I just can't pick the Rams to win anything. How could you have faith and confidence in picking the Rams to win anything? You just can't do it. So give me the Cardinals to win here, but it would not shock me if the Cardinals are the Cardinals yet again and they just don't show up when you expect them to show up. We move on to the New York Giants as they go to Washington and face the Washington Redskins, and the Redskins have a lot to play for. Win and they're in. They know that. It does concern me a little bit that they know that, because this Redskins team has been kind of known to choke a little bit, okay? They did win the division last year, and that was impressive, but they went to the playoffs and they just choked against the Packers. When you look at their Monday Night Football game against the Carolina Panthers, they absolutely choked. I think back to week 1 against the Pittsburgh Steelers, they weren't expected to win that game, but that game was a disaster. They have these disasters even at home. All 3 of the games that I just said have all been at home. So they could have another disaster, and we think they're going to make the playoffs, but then they lose, and then the Lions end up getting in even though they lose. Or maybe the Bucs, if that nightmare scenario happens. I don't think it will. Even the Bucs fans don't think it will. So give me the Redskins to win here. The Giants won't be playing for much. I expect Odell Beckham to rest a good bit. Same goes with Eli Manning, but just look out, because the Redskins have had disasters at home the past couple of years. This could be yet another disaster. Oh, and remember, even the Dallas Cowboys with Matt Castle, I think they went to Washington and they won last year. The Redskins have had a lot of disasters at home. It would not shock me if this is yet another disaster at home. We move on to the Seattle Seahawks at the San Francisco 49ers. Surprisingly to everyone, even to them, the 49ers won a game last week. They went for it, a 2-point conversion, and they got it. Okay, now they're hosting the Seahawks, who continue to disappoint. And I'm not in love with Richard Sherman at all and how much he's talking. Dude, do yourself a favor and shut up. And I'm shocked that he lacks so much self-awareness. I can't believe it. This is a guy that went to Stanford, very smart guy, and I can relate somewhat. I don't go to Stanford, it's a top 10 school, it's a top 5 school. I go to a top 15 school, right? I can relate, right? So, dude, have some self-awareness. You're too smart for that, dog. Shut your mouth. Have some self-awareness. Everyone's talking about, oh my God, Richard Sherman, this guy's nuts. Have some self-awareness, Rich. And shut up. So, hopefully he does that. But in terms of this game, there's no reason why the Seahawks should lose this game other than laziness and just not showing up. Russell Wilson as an entity, on his own, as a talent, he's enough to beat the 49ers. So I expect them to win this game. The 49ers won't be able to take advantage of the Seahawks' deficiencies in terms of attacking their new free safety, who isn't very good, and Zach Terrell, I think his name is, or Steven Terrell. They won't be able to do that because they don't know how. Chip Kelly stinks. They need to fire him. They need to. Oh my God, this guy's such a bad head coach. And he gets even worse as time progresses. And we thought he was bad last year. Now you see what DeMarco Murray was doing. And you can say, well, he wasn't a great fit for his offense. As a head coach, you need to scheme your offense to where you can get the most out of players. You're telling me you had a guy in DeMarco Murray who had the potential and the ability to run for 1,200 or 1,300 yards, but you couldn't find a way to use him? That's on you as a head coach. There's no way in hell I'm keeping Chip Kelly as a head coach. But anyway, he stinks, and the 49ers should lose this game. Let's move on to the final game, the Sunday night football game between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Green Bay's rolling, man. They've won now 5 straight games. They've saved their season from the depths of hell, and it's going to continue this night. The Packers are going to win this game. The Lions, I don't think they have much of a chance. The one thing that does give me some pause, the Lions are 6-1 at home. So I do look at that and I say, okay, maybe at home there's something special there. There's something there. But man, we've seen now what the Lions look like against the best teams, or nearly the best teams in the NFL. Against the Cowboys, they were an absolute disaster. I know they missed Darius Slay, and I know he's going to be back for this game. But that was an absolute disaster. And then against the Giants, they weren't very good either. We've seen what they look like, and I don't like the picture. And then even in this game earlier this season, the Packers were up early and often. I mean, they were up like 27-0 or something ridiculous. I don't like this game at all for the Lions. I like the Packers to go to Detroit and win pretty easily. Now, you can sit back and still have hope, because I'm telling you, even though I'm picking the Redskins to win their game, they have had plenty of disasters at home. They could easily have another one here. However, you will get in the playoffs. You will not win a game. You will go to Seattle, and there's no way in hell. Okay, so you can live on that and say, okay, we got in the playoffs. But it will be just as valuable as it was when you got to the playoffs in 2011 and you went to New Orleans and you got your ass kicked. It'll be just as valuable as that. You can determine whether or not that's valuable at all. We can move on to my GUARAN-DAMN-TEES of the week. These are my betting picks of the week. And it's time to make some money. And, these picks are a little wonky because we're not sure what these head coaches are going to do. But I feel like I'm well researched now. I feel like I have a good pulse on what's going to happen. So with that said, let's get into it. I like the Texans. The Houston Texans +3 against the Tennessee Titans. I think they're going to win this game straight up. You get the points. Easily pick here. Let's go with the Houston Texans. We have the Browns +6. This is kind of risky because you're picking the Browns to do something, and that's very risky to do. But you look at this Steelers team, they're not going to be playing their top 3 players in Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown. You got to attack that to me. I think this Browns team will end up being close in this game. They may even win the game. So give me the Browns +6 points. 6 points is a lot. We move on to the Steelers at Browns under 45, or actually under 43. I think that total is way too high. We're going to see Landry Jones versus RG3, or I think RG3 may not play. Whoever the Browns quarterback is, we don't care. They're not good. So we have, Landry Jones versus the Browns quarterback, insert name here. You you have the Browns can't score points to save their lives. You have the Steelers that without their big three, their wide receivers aren't very good. DeAndre Williams is good, but is he good enough to win this game on his own? I don't think so. So give me the under 43-point total for this game. We move on to the Carolina Panthers +6. Again, I like the Panthers to win this game straight up. I think this game is theirs. I think they're gonna go out and impart the same strategy that they executed against the Washington Redskins in week 14 or 15. So I like the Panthers to win this game, but you get 6 points as well. Oh, give me those 6 points. I like that. We have the Miami Dolphins +9.5 again. I think the Dolphins are going to win this game. They're saying they're going to play their starters a good amount of time. They're at home. Hey, they've beaten the Patriots for 3 straight years now. Give me the Dolphins +9.5 points. Give me the Dolphins. You know how well they're playing lately? They won 9 of the last 10 games. Their defense has been playing better. Cameron Wake getting after the quarterback. Dolphins here +9.5. We have the Chiefs -5.5. I don't love this because they are on the road to a divisional opponent, but the Chargers, they just appear to be done. You know, whereas the Eagles last week, they weren't completely done, and some other, like the Browns or some other teams, they weren't completely done, like the Jaguars maybe, but this Chargers team, I think they're done. I don't think they care anymore. Phillip Rivers is throwing more interceptions than I've ever seen him throw. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Give me the Chiefs -5.5. And finally, the Green Bay Packers -3.5. Again, the Packers are rolling. The Lions, they can't win anything against a very good team right now. You got to take the Packers here. If this line was -7, I still might take the Packers here. But -3.5, that's very modest. Give me the Packers -3.5. So with that said, that ends my Week 17 2016 NFL season picks and predictions. What are yours? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. Peace.